Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor.
The Daily Compliance News for May 4, 2023. Yes, May the 4th be with you, the 5% edition. And we begin with that story as the United Nations reports that corruption drains more than 5% of the global GDP. Of the approximately 23 million in global public spending, 25% is lost to corruption. That translates into $3 trillion for public spending. These numbers are just astronomical and, frankly, astounding. So if you're in the compliance field, you are part of the fight to rid the world of the scourge of bribery and corruption, which cost $3 trillion annually. Next up, from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Mingy Sun reporting that crypto exchange Poloniex has agreed to pay $7.6 million to settle probe into sanctions violations. That it allowed users in sanctions regions to trade digital assets on its platform. The settlement agreement alleged Poloniex processed digital asset transactions worth more than $15.3 million for customers in sanctioned regions between 2014 and 2019, despite the platform having a Know Your Customer Information and Internet Protocol address. So more crypto fines and penalties for violating sanctions. Next up from Reuters, finally, the Senate is looking at the possibility of legislation to impose ethical standards on the U.S. Supreme Court amid the revelations of conflicts of interest, possible corruption, and other transactions by conservative justices. The highest court should not have the lowest ethical standards. Amen to that. That comes to it from Senate panel chairman Dick Durbin. Not surprisingly, Republicans are against it. And our final story comes to us from the BBC, and it's a story about a B-Corp, or a company that changed itself into a B-Corp, and it is a London-based PR firm called Fan Club, and it believed that doing business the correct way was simply the best way to do business. So they applied for and received the global certification for B Corporation. And the interesting thing is that it has helped its hiring. And I think really emphasizes something that was a key theme at ECI Impact 2023 this week, that the global workforce is changing and people want to work for ethical organizations. And companies with sustainability programs, with strong ESG values, are going to obtain and then retain more and better talent going forward. So ESG and sustainability will help your workforce.
The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.